Imagine one morning, your dog wakes up and the house is completely quiet. No footsteps, no keys, no hand reaching into the food bag. It would not know that humans disappeared. It would not know that civilization ended. It would only know that the creature who always comes back did not come back this time. And that is the strange part. If humans suddenly vanished from Earth, animals would not look up at the sky and understand that some great species had gone extinct. They would not understand cities, countries, history, or the meaning of the buildings we left behind. Animals understand the world in a different way. They understand smell, sound, routine. They understand where food comes from. They understand what a creature usually does. So the real question is not, would animals know humans disappeared? The better question is, when the human pattern suddenly stops, what does each animal lose? Start with the animals closest to us. Dogs would probably be among the first to notice that something was wrong. Not because they understand extinction, but because a dog's world is built around human routines. A dog knows when you wake up. It knows what you do before leaving. It knows the sound of your car, your keys, your footsteps outside the door. To a dog, a human is not an abstract species. A human is schedule, scent, safety, and return. If you suddenly disappeared, the first thing a dog would experience is not grief. It would experience a broken pattern. The door does not open. The bowl does not fill. The voice does not come back. A dog might wait by the door. It might react to every sound in the hallway, because in its experience, humans leave all the time, but they usually return. It would not know that this time, there is no return. Cats would be different. Cats do not organize their entire world around humans in the same way dogs often do. But that does not mean they are indifferent. A house cat knows your habits. It knows the sound of a can opening. It knows when doors open, when lights turn on, and when the strange giant in the house becomes useful. But a cat may not understand your disappearance as the loss of an owner. It may understand it more like a system failure. Food stops appearing. Water stops being replaced. Doors stop opening. The big, clumsy, useful creature has stopped functioning. To a cat, humans may not be masters. We may be part of the environment. A strange living condition. A loud, trainable animal that somehow controls cans, doors, blankets, and heat. And when that animal disappears, the cat faces an older question. Can I survive without it? But the animals most immediately changed by human disappearance might not be pets. They might be city animals. Pigeons, rats, crows, foxes, raccoons, stray cats, stray dogs. These animals live along the edges of human civilization. They may not love us. Some of them fear us. But they have learned to use us. To a city pigeon, humans may be like moving food weather. We cross plazas and drop crumbs. We sit on benches and leave fries behind. We throw things away and then we throw away more. To a rat, a city is not a symbol of human achievement. It is a giant food maze. To a raccoon, a trash can may look like a magic food box. Every night, it opens the black plastic container, and inside is yesterday's dinner. If humans vanished, these animals might enjoy a feast at first. Restaurants, kitchens, supermarkets, garbage stations. For a short time, cities would become enormous unguarded tables. But that would not last. Fresh food would rot. Garbage would stop moving. Refrigeration would fail. Streets would no longer produce a steady supply of leftovers. The animals best at exploiting human chaos would suddenly discover that the chaos had stopped. That is the counterintuitive part. Some animals do not depend on human love. They depend on human waste. And when humans stop wasting, part of their world collapses. Then there are farm animals. For them, human disappearance could be far more brutal. Cows, pigs, chickens, sheep. Many of these animals are not wild creatures living in natural conditions. Their bodies, numbers, diets, and even the way they are born have been shaped by human systems. Many farm animals depend on humans for food, water, doors, temperature control, cleaning, and protection. If humans suddenly disappeared, some animals trapped inside barns and fences would never get the chance to understand anything at all. They would not know that humans once controlled their entire lives. They would only know hunger, thirst, crowding, and footsteps that never arrive. That is uncomfortable to think about, but it reveals something important. To animals, humans are rarely just one thing. We are caretakers and we are captors. We provide food and we create dependence. We protect some lives and we turn others into systems. So when humans disappear, some animals lose oppression. Others lose the structure that kept them alive. Zoo animals would face a similar problem. A tiger in a zoo may not love humans. It may only know that at a certain time, food appears. Water changes. Gates move. The enclosure is cleaned. It is not free, but it is being maintained. If humans vanished, that maintenance would stop immediately. Some animals would be trapped. Others might escape. But escape is not the same thing as freedom. Many captive animals do not know how to survive in a true wild environment. They may not know where to find food, how to avoid danger, or how to enter an ecosystem already occupied by other animals. To them, humans are not exactly friends, and not exactly enemies. Humans are a set of invisible rules. And when the rules disappear, the world does not automatically become better. It simply becomes unpredictable. But for many wild animals, human disappearance might not feel like a tragedy at all. A deer would not think about the end of civilization. It might simply notice that roads are quieter. Guns are silent. Machines have stopped at the edge of the forest. Certain smells and sounds are gone. Birds might hear each other more clearly in quieter cities. Marine animals might hear less ship noise. Nocturnal animals might discover that night is dark again. For these animals, humans disappearing is not the loss of a relationship. It is the removal of pressure. They would not celebrate. Celebration is a human idea. They would simply expand into spaces that were too dangerous before. They would cross empty roads, nest in abandoned buildings, move through parking lots, and search for food where humans no longer chase them away. Not because they understand that we are gone, but because the danger changed. And Earth would respond more slowly. After days, pets would wait. After weeks, city animals would fight over what was left. After months, farms and zoos would become survival filters. After years, plants would climb over roads, and animals would move through buildings. After decades, many human borders would stop meaning anything at all. But animals would not call this the post-human world. They would not give our disappearance a name. A crow might only remember that a certain face no longer appears. A dog might keep listening for a sound outside the door. A fox might discover that the trash cans no longer refill. A whale might not know we left at all, only that the ocean became a little quieter. And that may be the most honest answer. Animals would not think about human disappearance the way humans do. They would not ask, "Where did humanity go?" They would ask, in their own way, "Where did the food go? Where did the sound go? Where did the danger go? Why did that creature stop coming back?" Humans like to imagine ourselves as the main characters of Earth. So when we imagine disappearing, we picture a grand absence, as if every animal would pause and notice the empty place where we used to stand. But animals do not understand us like that. They understand what we do, who we fed, who we frightened, who we trapped, who we protected, who we hurt, what sounds, smells, food, danger, and rules we created every single day. If humans suddenly vanished, animals would not write elegies for us. They would not understand our dreams, our jobs, our languages, or the meaning of the civilization we built. But they would feel the stopping of our habits. And maybe that is how animals truly understand humans. Not by who we say we are, but by what we repeatedly do. If you want to keep seeing humans through the eyes of animals, subscribe.